Learning in between the hedges in order to expand beyond them. Learning about learning. By Lauren. By Mo. By Jake. And by June. Whether we knew it or not, every day we encounter new instances at Rice where we are learning about learning. Adapting to the new environment and lifestyle that college brings upon us, it is important that we are open to learn about learning new things.
Wow. There you go.
Maybe I'll be up there one day.
You will. You will be up there.
Oh, this is a training room?
Oh. Wow.
That's so cool. It's a shame it's dark and you can't see.
Yeah. Looks great. That's the code. Yeah. Wow. So, yeah, this is your room, I guess. Wow. Wow.
Whoa. Look at that. I've got 2 lockers to myself. It's not because I did it. This is my first time here. I don't know whose clothes this is, but this is my name. What do you even do in this class?
No idea. I heard it's awful.
What? I heard the teacher's really cool.
The knowledge that we as Rice students have about the campus lifestyle, classes, and culture is all because we were learning about learning new things at Rice.
Oh, for sure now.
What are you saying? Nothing. So, what goes on in this class? Anything?
What are you asking me?
I don't know. What goes on in this class? What type of learner are you?
Go on. 10, I learned that I'm a kinesthetic learner. This means that I learn best when I'm touching, seeing, and actually doing things, rather than sitting in a classroom and taking notes.
In Univ 110, I learned that I was a visual learner, so I learn best looking at things and seeing pictures of things instead of like writing down or listening to someone speak. For example, someone showing a presentation with lots of pictures gets my brain involved and I can learn best from that.
A verbal learner, and because reading things out loud helps me better than just looking at it. And when I was back in China, I usually learned to remember the vocabularies by reading out loud, and just looking at it is not enough for me.
In Unit 110, I learned that I'm a kinesthetic learner because I like to do actions and learn from my actions. For example, playing volleyball, I like to do the action and perform the action itself rather than having someone teach it to me and trying to explain it to me by visuals.
I learned that we learn not only in the classroom, but also outside of the classroom and even outside of the hedges of Rice. It's a bit of a cliche statement, outside the hedges of Rice. You've heard that 100 times, but it's true. When you go out and experience different cultures and different people and the warmness of some people and other people who you maybe don't get along with, and we learned how to deal with it through conflict. And I think all of this stuff, I was very well prepared for it because of Unit 110.
At Rice, not only have I learnt in the classroom, but I've learnt how to interact with people and make new friends, because back home you may get introduced to someone through your family, but here you have to do it all on your own. You've got no help, and that's the way that I've learned through Univ and interacting with others at Rice.
Bad thing I've learned at Rice learned so far is how to avoid the inefficient social relationship. I know a lot of students at Rice, they after classes want they, they often go to parties and hang out with friends, but that actually takes a lot of time of their own leisure and their study time. So if you want to be a efficient person and you want to keep a balance between your study and your social life, you have to avoid inefficient social relationship which burdens you a lot.
Growing up, I moved around a lot, and I could never really answer the simple question, where are you from? Because my parents are from different places, I lived in different places, I traveled to different academies. Univ 110 has made me realize that learning my identity isn't about where you're from. It's about the morals that you hold, and you build friends with people who maybe challenge those morals and beliefs and people who agree with them. But you don't necessarily have to narrow yourself down to one place, one city, one home.
So at Rice, I've learnt about different social norms and cultures at different places. I've had to adapt from that back home because it's completely different to here. And being in a certain college, you have to learn about their social norms, which may be different to others. So I'm in McMurtry, and that is pretty different to Duncan's culture. And at Rice, you have to just adapt to that and get involved with all the activities that your college is involved in.
Two things I've learned from learning about others is one is communication and second one is respect. The first one, communication, if you want to get close to someone and know about him or her more, you have to build a direct communication with him, and then you can get close to them. And the second one is respect. If you during the communication, if you find you're different and you disagree with some of his opinions, but you have to respect him or her opinions, because Rice is a university of diversity, so it's inclusive, and people in Rice should respect other people's opinions and their culture and their beliefs, their religions, and that helps to build a very good campus atmosphere.
Learning is defined as knowledge acquired through experience, study, or being taught. Almost every action we take is the result of past learning. For some people, learning still remains an activity undertaken in or associated with an educational context. As babies, we learn to eat, to gain attention, to crawl, and to walk, and etc. As we grow older and develop into children, our bodies become more functional and we learn an inordinate range of skills. As we advance into adulthood, a lot of our learning occurs randomly throughout life, from new experiences, gaining information, and from our perceptions. There have been many attempts made by academics and others to map and explain the learning process. It is generally recognized that learning takes place in a repetitive cycle, an ongoing series of processes. This diagram, the PACT learning cycle, represents a generic learning cycle and uses the acronym PACT. This cycle is relevant to all types of learning, and there are 4 different stages. The first stage is procure. To procure is having knowledge or ability in a new environment. Applying is the new knowledge or skills is then practiced in some way. Considering is the results of the practice that are evaluated and or assessed. Transforming is the original knowledge or ability that is modified accordingly to the cycle. Learning is a continuous process that commences at birth and continues until death. It is the process through which we use our experience to deal with new situations and to develop new relationships. This PACT learning cycle is applied in all aspects of learning throughout Rice University and in Univ 110. Examples of applying this PACT learning cycle could be reading a book. Another example could be meeting new friends and being in a new environment where you can meet new people.
Oh, great. Are you in Univ?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. That is great.
Another example could be being involved in new team sports with new teammates and new people. And lastly, another example could be acquiring new knowledge from news or broadcasts.
Wow.
Learning about learning can happen in all aspects of life and can even happen just by simply watching and taking a look at the campus of Rice. Exploring new things and learning about new social norms, we are all exhibiting learning about learning. From learning about learning, we learn without even knowing it. From knowing where to find the UNIF classroom, from exploring life on campus, to experiencing nights like Esperanza Denon, identifying what type of personality we are, understanding the tunnel of life, understanding the cycle of socialization, or accomplishing various foundation checklist activities. We have all experienced learning about learning.
I don't know what I'm doing, but
What are you looking for?
I'm meant to be finding some keys.
Whose car is this?
Mario.
And you just leaves it unlocked?
No, I had the key, you idiot.
Oh, you have the key?
Yeah.
I'm not an idiot, fuck you.
I'm not an idiot. Why are you still vehicle?
For sure now. What are we saying? So, what goes on in this class? Anything?
What are you asking me?
I don't know. What do you think?
This is so stupid. So I can give you the idea which is not. It's not that way, that's one of my older. Do you know golf had a room in Tudor? Lauren, answer me.
A what?
A golf room in Tudor?
What is that?
I don't even know. No one cares about
What'd
golf.
you say?
No one cares about golf.
What'd you say? What'd you say again?
Apparently he has a golf room in Tudor.
Don't know what you're saying. Jake, say squirrel.
Learn something new every day.
Jake, say squirrel.
Squirrel.
Let me think. Okay. Alright, relax.
You just look like a puppy. Okay, go.
Okay. Growing